All right, today we are tying the Shop Vac. This is a small midge pattern. So if you like fishing small midge patterns, go ahead and give this video a like. Let us know your favorite midged fish down in the comments. And let's get started. We got an Allen fly fishing in 203. It's just your standard curved shank hook. And a tactical fly fisher 2mm slotted tungsten bead. You can go with the countersunk bead if you got them. I typically don't have many countersunk beads, so I just use the slotted beads and they work just fine. So some 10-aught Veevus thread in black gets this started. Just get that thread attached. I do like to kind of see that this bead gets a couple thread wraps behind it so that it stays where it's supposed to be. And just touching wraps down the bend of the hook. Backups, we can tie in our rib, which is just going to be some small copper wire. I think the smaller the better. Oops. I don't want to have this wire make a lot more bulk. And I think it looks really good with smaller wire and closer rib wraps. So just keep touching turns back up to the top here. Fewer wraps is better, trying to keep this thing thin. The body of this fly is just going to be some pheasant tail, I try to keep it to probably like 4 pheasant tail fibers. Here, it looks like I grabbed 5, which is not the end of the world. I'm just trying to keep this body really thin. So I trim those tips. The tips tend to be a little bit more brittle. Tie those tips in, and if you kind of grab them and then you can pull them, that helps kind of suck those tips underneath your thread to keep everything nice and smooth. You're not having to try to cut those off. Just be right a little bit further to go. I've never felt the need to get too far down into the bend with these curved shanked patterns. I think at some point you start getting in the way of the hook's ability to hold on to fish. So now we're just going to wrap this forward. Take your time to get everything to just lay next to each other. And avoid the hook point. The hook point will cut these pheasant tail fibers pretty quickly. Once you get up here behind the hook, just tie it off. Trim it out close, and then counter it with your wire. Just helicopter that out. Gets that out of the way for us. And then this has kind of a emergent wing case. I'm going to use some McFlylon, but I'm going to use some leftovers from my parachute posts that I tie with it, so that I can just take a little bit of it. And that even might be, this fly, I might take half of half, so maybe only a quarter of the fibers. I don't need a huge wing of fibers. And if I do this, I should be able to get that nice and on top, and then kind of fold it over itself. Trim that little wing and then whip finish. And there you have a Shop Vac, a nice little midge pattern that uses pheasant tail, which seems to really work with trout. So if you like fishing midge patterns, go ahead and give this video a like. Let us know that favorite pattern, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.